D-Man and myself are going to be taking you through some of the best moments of the past week of the ESL Mobile Open titles. And to kick things off at the moment with PUBG Mobile. Now, as I'm aware as well, D-Man, we've actually got a bit of a structure of a leaderboard coming to fruition. Is that right?
Yeah, finally, we get to see the leaderboard. I mean, these guys have been playing non-stop for weeks on end. And as you can see, the #1 EU team is #1 EU. Yeah, I mean, a massive lead for them, no doubt about it. So it was like 56 points, if my maths are kind of correct, I believe. But yeah, brilliant stuff from these guys. I mean, bearing in mind, these teams have played, I think it's around about 16 cups so far, which is, you know, multiply that by 5. That's the amount of games they've all had to play. So obviously really running through the grinder effectively. And it always amazes me with PUBG Mobile just how close points-wise it can be after that amount of time. You know, it really balances itself out. Obviously, we have got the one team clearly ahead of everyone else, but overall, look at this. I mean, that's what a 18-point spread between 9th to 16th after that many games. That's, you know, it's just 18 kills. That's all it is across, you know, hundreds of games effectively.
Yeah, the point spread can be quite large though as well, as we've already kind of discussed that, you know, in one match, if you've got a high kill game, you can rack up about 30 points or so. So it's still everything to play for. Even though we've had 16 cups, there's still plenty of weeks to come. And we've had thousands of teams entering the PUBG Mobile ladder, providing fantastic opportunity for teams to, you know, make a good impression and rise the ranks and get noticed.
Well, here we are. We're going to jump into some of the games of the day, and you can see it was a high kill game that we were just talking about there. Often when you're talking 14, 15 plus kills, you know, bearing in mind that's a quarter of the ladder that you've taken out. So that's generally a pretty impressive score. Obviously, you get a point per kill, so always fantastic stuff. So MENA here starting things off looking golden. They are just a little outside the circle. You can see in the top right-hand corner the mini-map there of the circle edge. You can see there, which is why they're laying down the smoke right now to try and get a little closer. They do have the advantage of having a tree just ahead, and also there's a crate drop just to the side there, and you can see there is a nice little divot that they can move into there. So just playing with the edge of the smoke right now to look at the team, that #6 team on the hill, and they've got the #8 team on the left there. But there is a sneaky snake they need to worry about. Still 10 alive in this circle.
Yeah, we've got a sneaky snake on the left-hand side that they haven't quite spotted yet, a solo player as he approaches the crate. MENA got 3 players still up out of the 10 that are currently alive, so puts them in an advantageous position, but they have to notice this player that is just sneaking around on their left-hand side. Is going to be trouble. But yeah, as of now, they're just focusing in on these 2 teams that are in front of them. We've got 4 teams up, but yeah, like you've already said, 14 kill game already. So if they can rank up even more kills and get a high position, it's looking like a really high point win for MENA.
See, the thing is, I got to assume he's completely visible to the player to the left of him there. But the player on the left, he's not going to take that shot just yet. He's waiting for his last moment. There we go. Takes the shot, gets the kill. So it's tragedy down there. So that's immediately taking one player away from MENA. And I think I just saw Vigo taking another one away. So suddenly MENA losing 2 just like that. And you can see Advocate now, the last man standing. It was looking great for them for a time being. But yeah, just that man on the side there. But tragedy goes down. So that's the 4th team dealt with, which means it is now just 3 teams left. You can see 3 players in Vigo, looking great for them. They've also got 14 kills, so also fantastic performance from them as they push through and take the win. Now, moving over to Miramar, we're looking at, it looks like WP here. They have only got 4 kills, still 5 teams left. We're only in circle 5, so a lot of action to be played out.
Is indeed. We've got, it's quite a wide berth, this circle, obviously, but look at also how spread the WP team are right now on your map. They're really spread out. Obviously, we've got one player that's pinched out Equality at the side, at the bottom of the mini-map, as you can see on the bottom left. So he's going to go, and Magic is going to try and go and pick him off for him to try and basically set you know, an area for Equality to be able to rush through and get into the next circle as the blue will start pushing him out. Here we go. Magic has spotted him. He's going to try and get the pop off. There we go. Icy goes down. Nice and easy kill. And there we go. He's set up a perfect lane for his teammate to come and basically join him on the top of here so they can join up and get as much value out of their position as possible, D-Man.
Yeah, Ice in the distance there. They're kind of in a trouble situation. You can see with the circle shifting this way. You know, all 4 of his teammates now inside the zone. Everybody else pretty much on the far edge, and that just leaves them in a perfect position to come out and pick this up. You can see they got B4V over on the right-hand side there. Well aware of their situation. You can see they have to crest the hill effectively to come through. And just means that, you know, with this cover setup, they've got the vehicle. Oh my God, they're going 3 in a vehicle. It scares me when they get this many in a car. Okay, it's only the 2. It's only the 2 in the end there. So this is just going to be a straight up bum rush. What an world.
Did not need to do this at all. But they just felt they got to rush this, get the kills. Let's get this over with. I'm bored. Let's go. One down. There we go.
He actually died to the play zone as well. So they didn't even get the kill for it. So what they're doing here, they just wanted more kills. It looks like the other player is going to go down in the play zone as well. So the blue will take him, it looks like. So yeah, so while they actually bump, I mean, that's a rush that you wouldn't normally see, let's put it that way. So back over to Erangel. This looks like he's just outside to the east of apartments by the looks of it here in that compound. 12 kill game for Run here already. Fantastic setup for the circle. That it doesn't offer very much cover, this road. It's not one of those roads that has like this big dips either side that gives you a nice ridge line to play with. This is pretty scary territory, and you can see stood on top of the building, perfect angle for them, perfect vision. Of course, it does make him a little bit open, but very confident play here coming out from Run.
I was going to say, it does open him up to plenty of visuals from the opponents as well. However, it does give him good line of sight on where everyone is. So he's basically gathering information for his teammates. But Running Man is going to go. They don't need to push too hard. Like you've already said, their positioning right now is actually really good. They don't need to make any aggressive plays. They can sit back and see how things unfold. Because ultimately, you want those position points. You want to get that first spot and claim those 15 extra points. So why not just get inside like he has, chill out. He's got the sniper at him as well. I think, did I just see a sniper, D-Man?
Hop back on the roof as well. He wants more of this, so feeling confident. See, the bonus is because all he's got 4 teams alive, he can be this confident, because if he gets knocked, he's generally just going to drop off and his teammate can revive him, and that's what just happened a moment ago. I think we just saw Misery get knocked a moment ago, and that's why he's putting the damage down, but he's not really getting the kills right now. It looks like the opposition around the side. Yeah, I mean, he's got pure open field there on Elsa. Elsa could do nothing about that. And this is just the problem with this. You can see there's just so little cover. The guy on the right going down to the play zone, so the play zone will finish him off. And now it's just a straight up fight. 4v3, the opposition team just checking where they are. But the circle has shifted. You can see it's pulled away from this compound. Now, they need to be adapting. They need to get someone moving towards that circle, or they do exactly like Running Man here is and just pick them off as they try to move for the circle themselves.
Yeah, exactly. You both are going to have to move for this inner circle. However, if you can hold your position, if you have a more advantageous position up top, which we thought he did, but he's decided to jump off, move this bike out of the way so he can jump in the car, sitting on a flaming bike. Okay, that's going to be toasty. And
smoking Dacia as well. I'm not convinced. Not convinced by this, but I guess they feel they've had the cover down. Oh, wow, okay. So they got one guy lying down the cover fire, the Overwatch effectively, and 3 of them going to go for the push here. Completely outside the circle. It's give them the flank down. They've got the defilade down there. This is so risky because if he'd have got into the tree there, he ended up the car exploded and took him out there. If he'd have gone into that position, that would have put him in a real chokehold because they would have held the angle there. Roach has managed to take down 1, but doesn't look like the numbers are going to work out for them. As I say that, Poach gets Misery down and flushed out. So down to a 3v2 right now. And suddenly this has turned into what really didn't need to be a risky play, if all more honesty. They could have quite helpfully held their ground, but in the end it does look like they're going to come out on top as they try and keep the pressure down.
You didn't need the aggressive plays, you know what I mean? You just didn't need that kind of aggression. However, we're seeing it time and time again in these maps that we're seeing, you know, back to back. We've had super aggressive plays.
I feel it's the difference between what they can get away with right now in the Open Cup series. When we get to the finals, that sort of play you will get punished for, because right now you're up against teams that maybe you're better than. You know, when you get to those finals, you're coming up against teams that have all gone through the same rigmarole that you have to get there. You know, the top 16 teams. That sort of play you will get punished for 100%.
We're dropping in here with a 2v2 on Miramar. So it's back end. Right here, we've got 17 kills for Team Krim. He's going to get the res. And Povak is super low, you can see, opposite. But he's just managed to get some health up as well. Pops a kit. And now we're just sitting at a 2v2. Who's going to make the push? They're both inside circle right now. They're inside the 6th circle. So, I mean, how would you play this right now, D-Man?
I mean, it looks like it's just out. It looks like it's just south of Pozo, I think this is at the moment. I'm just trying to get bearings on where we are on the map. Looks like it's that compound over to the far western side of the map here. But yeah, I mean, they have the prime example. But now with the circle pull into the road, it's tricky, right? Because the other team, number 17, which looks like PD, are choosing to hold the ground because they have the shorter distance to cover. For these guys, I would be flanking left. Like there's compounds to the left. They could easily get a smoke down. I assume they may have a smoke left. I don't really know what they've got left in their kit there. We can obviously only see the meds and stuff, which actually, speaking of meds, he's got 4 bandages. He's got no first aids. So actually not in a great situation here, Crim. So that's why they're looking for it. You can see they're laying down a lot of smokes, but I would have covered them to the left here. Look, you can flank down to the left here, use that defilade, get down to the compounds, get ahead of them into the circle, but instead it looks like they're going for the straight flank and going for the fight here. DeVito wants to get involved.
Again, aggressive plays. Here we go. Team 6 versus Team 17. We got Crim, DeVito pushing around that left side, just trying to get a flank off. But if he's throwing too many nades down, he's going to give away his positioning. So, I mean, it's whether or not they can get a spot off. They can see. Here we go. This is a deeper flank. Here we go. Round this left side. He's going to push into circle and see if he can hold him off.
So they've basically, they've completely looped around him. And this is where PD have kind of failed effectively, but obviously it's down to gunplay now, so he needs to smoke off the left side. You can see it's pretty open, wants to try and look towards that. They've got to be careful, because while they've moved into this, they haven't really pulled into the circle and given themselves a good defensive position. They're trying to use the flank as best they can, but it's still pretty exposed. So DeVito's going to have a little peek around the smoke there. Instantly gets spotted. Got to be careful of the spray coming through the smoke as well, because it does look like, I think it's Vac that's the other side of the smoke is just opening up and is going to find him with a scar. So nice work there. Does manage to get the knockdown, making it a 2-on-1, and now they can go for the pincer push.
Does Crim James go for the res, or does he just try and play this out? Is it too risky? Do you just take pot shots through the smoke like he is?
Oh, he's
giving away his position by shooting. He's getting hit. He's going to try and flank around the left-hand side. Is he going to get spotted again? And he goes down.
Yeah, Vac getting him there in the smoke. So just risky play overall. I mean, it kind of worked out for them, but yeah. Anyway, over to Sandhawk, it looks like here, just outside of Cam Alpha. It looks like it's south, so Team 17, it's a tough position. So basically what they're having to do is this big run down the hillside. Actually impressed they've managed to get to the building. That's kind of a mistake, if anything, by Team 5 here to allow them to get close enough, because it's basically a turkey shoot as they run down that hillside, and there's no way they should have been able to get in close enough to make that work, especially when there's 3 teams down here. I don't know how that's managed to work out. You can see Doom off the side there have managed to effectively save Pan. Looks like they're the team that were in the other compound, but yeah, CS should never have been allowed to get down that hillside.
Doom, we're playing it slow, but we're jumping straight across to Erangel now, I believe. Yep. And down by shooting range, we got Sog here. Team kills, they've got about 8 kills in the bag. And there's only 8 alive with 4 teams, so a pretty big spread. Having 3 players still up is pretty advantageous for them. But just going to have to see if they can get to the top of this hill right here and get just a better position, better vantage point, not advantage point, Banks. But D-Man, I mean, how do you see this playing out?
Yeah, I mean, this is tricky territory in itself, because it is fairly open terrain around here. There are a couple of bumps and divots that you can kind of hide in, so which is why it's tricky. Obviously, you can try and flank as much as you can, but you never really know what snake in the grass is waiting for you, especially with, at the moment, 4 teams alive, which is what they'll be seeing. They wouldn't know. They know there's 8 teams out there. They know that they've got 3 alive, so they know there's 5 players out there, but they won't know really what they're up against right now. They'll have a good idea, but as we can see on the map, you know, they've got the circle, so in terms of defensive position, they don't really need to move. It's down to the other teams to come to them.
And they've obviously spotted the lone wolf over there, who's going to be pushed in by the blue as it starts closing in around him. He's going to be in a very difficult spot when he has to basically emerge from behind the vehicle for RB. And yeah, like we've seen a couple of solos out in the field, but they've got a great positioning, great circle push, so they can just hold them off as everyone tries to push in. Not a huge amount of trees for cover, so it's looking like it should be a GG for SOG, but again, anything can happen. All it takes is the wrong kind of peak at the wrong time, and you are down, D-Man.
I mean, it looks like Team 4 is basically 1 grenade away from death down there. You can see they've laid the smoke down, so it's evident where they are. I just wonder if anyone's going to pop an egg, because it does look like they're in a bit of a divot, which is prime position to just roll one of those grenades down into, like a golf hole, effectively. But the Saga's managed to find them, so that's one of the teams picked off on the side there. That's Brute. That's one of the guys in that divot that have been knocked. It looks like it's going to be a straight-up med battle, it seems, for Team 16 out there, who wants to try and med it through, try not letting him have any of that. So that's one of the side teams. And now this is what I was talking about. Simple nades. You know, when you're in a bit of a divot like that, a nade coming through will do the job, and down they go. So over to Miramar, it seems. Looking at Team Ice, only 4 kills for them so far. They do have 1 knocked. Looks like Trix is down and out. But this, it looks like it's looking like the hills, yeah, just outside of Pozo, by the looks of it, just a sort of southeast of Pozo, the high hillside, and a tricky position. Looks like Ice chose to go for that big hill and actually using the vehicles here so they don't get falling damage. And Geki just launching it down.
The flying vehicle. So as you can see on the spot, you got on the left-hand side, you got Team 10, but look at Salman down the edge of the hill on the right-hand side from Team 5, I believe it is. So we got Ice right here, Geki, who's just basically putting shots into this left-hand side to just make sure they don't try and peek too hard because they have to deal with someone else on the back end. You can see on the minimap on the top left corner, they've got one man, a solo, who's just going to cause so much trouble for them if they try and push too early. So basically, if they get him down, they'll be in a much more comfortable position.
Yeah, they really want to get involved in this fight. You can see that they're trying to cover off there, but there's 2 of them at the back here. They have had 1 knocked, so Homer's been knocked for them, and it looks like he's going to get flushed out as well. It doesn't have a great deal of hit points left, which is why they're trying to sort of cover off. They can't get involved in this fight. They want to go aggressive. They want to flank around. That's what it looks like Leora is going to go for it. So maybe just sort of thinking, okay, let's just leave Homer, who's back at his feet here, Flex, to try and deal with that. As they say that, Salma will take him down and will finish him off as well. So now they have to deal with this challenge from behind. They can't get involved. I think there's 3 players in front of them, 1 behind, and that one in the back is one you just cannot forget about it because he will punish you.
It is a difficult position to be in when you just needed to quickly get rid of a solo just chilling out on the right-hand side and waiting. And now you're having to focus all your energy and ensuring that he goes down before you make a push for the final team. How irritating for Ice right now. But 7 alive, 3 teams, and we've got 3 up for Ice. So Ice is still in a good position, but they just need to make sure that they get the thorn in their side removed from this map before they can actually do the push. Here we go. We've got Ice Leora just checking out that tree. He knows he's there. Is the blue just going to flush him out enough for Ice Leora to just get him down, and then they can just focus this team on the left, Team 10.
It's costing them utils as well. They've had to use the smokes to cover off his back. Flex has been finished off. Geki's been taken down as well. So it really has cost them. So not only did they lose 1 person, they got a knock on Geki. And for the opposition team, that's golden. They look at it. Let's look at Asura. Asura's already making the push. Look at this massive flank coming around the outside. They're well aware. They've heard all these shots going off, so they know the positions these players are in. And Asura's absolutely capitalized on it.
Oh, he's peeked him there, and oh, so close to being dropped. Ice Leora is literally on his last legs.
Oh, Zamali.
We're switching over to Geki. Leora's still not dropped. He's still not down. He's going to be able to maybe have time to med up. Geki getting shots off on Gustink. We've got 2 over this hillside, so he knows he's going to have to get aggressive. Holding off. Going for the res, which is extremely impressive. That is a very risky move, going for the res. Oh, he doesn't. Instead, he goes to the peak. There you go. Game over. Ice. What an incredible closeout, D-Man, right?
Yeah, using the Tommy gun, obviously, it's something we see a lot on the mobile. The Tommy and the micro Uzi at that sort of range is absolutely crucial. So really well played by him. I mean, the thing going for the res, obviously, they'd have heard the res, which is what forced him out from the tree. Went for the peak. Geki was sat ready and waiting for it. Worked out perfectly. In the end, they got away with it.
And like you've already mentioned regarding the leaderboard, every point counts. You see how close the points are towards the top, so every point counts, every kill, and every position point that you can muster. But to keep up to date with everything happening in the ESL Mobile Open, just put !social in the chat, and you'll be able to keep up to date with everything going on as we progress. And up next, we have all the action from this week in Clash Royale. Don't go anywhere. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching the ESL Mobile Open weekly recap. We really appreciate all of your support. So don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can stay up to date with everything going on at the ESL Mobile Open, Europe, Middle East, and North Africa.